of violent crime.
I want to scream.
A methodical killer.
You hear the call, you heed the call.
And a lone survivor. For 18 years, Jana Mercer tried to leave the memories behind.
Tell me about that night, Jana.
I thought he was the angel of death.
But the nightmare is starting all over again.
He called me last night.
Jana, I believe you. I was there.
When the guilty are set free,
He had a life sentence.
the innocent are cornered,
Look, how'd you like to get away for a few days?
and a journey to the scene of the crime
How much is that one?
will unlock the past
Strange coming back here after all these years.
and uncover the truth.
Oh my goodness.
Jana Mercer finds a mystery she can't explain,
I wanted to tell you, I swear.
What kind of game are you playing?
a temptation she can't resist,
Jana!
and a danger she can't escape.
It has to end here.
Get away from me, David. We're going to be together again, Jana.
Starring Genie Award winner Brigitte Bako, two-time Emmy winner Larry Drake, Golden Globe winner and Academy Award nominee Sally Kirkland, and Scott Valentine from the long-running TV series Family Ties. Paranoia.
Where you go, I go.
Hey guys, Awesome Communications, and welcome to my review of Paranoia. And it's a Sterling Entertainment movie, as you can see, shiny covers. Starring Brigitte Bako and Larry Drake, Dr. Giggles, and Sally Kirkland. Fear can be a powerful weapon. Now, I was actually curious about this movie because of the trailer that I saw, and I actually bought this online a while back. Spent money on it, and had it shipped to my house. I don't remember exactly how much, but however fucking amount of money that I wasted on this goddamn movie was not worth it. Was so disappointed by this movie. I know it's a direct-to-video movie, but how dull and fucking lifeless this movie is. I mean, you would it looks like it's shot on Shitio half the time. It's got some good ideas, albeit preposterous ideas. Like, for example, okay, the plot basically is this. Since her entire family was brutally killed by serial killer Calvin Hawks. Yeah, Larry Drake plays a guy named Calvin Hawks. It sounds like it's Lincoln Hawks' father. The only person I think of when I think of a last name Hawks, I think of Lincoln Hawks. Over the top! Calvin Hawks killed her family brutally some 20 years ago. So Jana Mercer, Brigitte Bako, has isolated herself in her seemingly impenetrable New York City apartment. Her only contact with the outside world being her online counseling sessions with her psychiatrist. And with his prison sentence about to end, the thrilling game of cat and mouse reaches a feverish pitch as Jana further retreats into an intense cycle of frenzied paranoia. Yeah, because her fear escalates because when Calvin starts stalking her on the internet, which right off the bat doesn't make any goddamn sense. What prison do you know of that allows prisoners to have a fucking laptop in their cell? I guess only in make-believe prisons, like in this movie. And not only that, it's completely absurd that he's gonna have a goddamn laptop in his cell, but also that he's somehow gonna pull some like internet connected thing out of his ass and plug it into the laptop. Not only that, it's like a satellite thing or something so he can track her. And he's gonna start typing things to her, and it's kind of creepy. But then the director, fucking Larry Brand, fucks up and decides he's going to have this disturbing sort of dialogue that's typed up by Larry Drake be spoken, basically relayed back to the audience and to Jana Mercer and fucking speak and spell voice, basically. And it's all like, oh, I saw your mother. You know, do you really want to know what fear is? Fear can be a very powerful weapon. You're like, oh my God. It's like, Jesus. Right? Stupid. So basically, Sally Kirkland plays this, and I'm going all over the place. This movie is it's so fucking dull. It's like it's like a dull kitchen knife. She plays Dr. Kurtzwell, which basically she's memorable because of all of her different silly ass hairstyles that she keeps. Like she has all these different hairstyles constantly throughout the whole film, and she basically talks to Jana Mercer through video chat. And the whole movie, I think, started out in a flashback with the whole sequence of what happened to Larry Drake wearing some really, really fake-ass looking wig and, like, some bad goatee. So he's walking around, and I'm like, God. Well, it's like, he's supposed to look like he's from the 70s, but it looks really fake. And then, like, the lighting is all super freaking bright for some reason, because it's a dream. And of course, you find out that she was a little girl, and she likes hiding in the dark because she hid in the dark while, you know, she watched her parents get killed. So, I don't know. I think it was my TV. I was watching the movie, and there was this fucking noise I kept hearing in the background, and it was annoying. I kept hearing this, you know, beep, beep, beep. I think it was my TV. So I used my small TV when I was over at my grandmother's house when I watched this. So I think it was my TV, it wasn't the movie. But that didn't add to the experience either. At least it kept me awake. At least I gotta give it that. So anyway, not only you got the stupid laptop thing in a prison, typing, saying, I see you, I'm with you all the time. And what made it, you know, piss me off even more, this director is an idiot, because what he decides to do, he does that stupid speak and spell voice, but then he does a scene where it's actually pretty effective when you have Larry Drake saying the words, basically, that he's typing, and that's a lot more scary than speak and spell. But no, he does that one time, and then he goes back to speak and spell bullshit. I'm like, what the fuck? So then, you know, after, you know, that whole thing, after the encounter on the internet, she finds out that he's getting out. And so she calls the police, calls the penitentiary, and they give her this bullshit line. I can't believe that this screenplay. Who the fuck wrote this shit? Larry Brand wrote and directed this fucking movie. Great, we got a double offender here. Dual offender. Let's see what Larry Brand, what if he directed anything else. He got his start in the movie business as a driver and a personal assistant to Orson Welles. Wow. He wrote the goddamn screenplay for Halloween Resurrection. The same fucking moron who wrote Resurrection is responsible for this shit. Of course. I'm not fucking surprised. And he still has a career. He's been directing movies like... Oh, he wrote the screenplay for Hard Luck with Marty Van Peebles and Wesley Snipes. Heard that shit. He also wrote Christina. And he's got 2 movies in post-production, A Perfect Man and Girl on a Train. I'm sorry, everything this guy has done I really don't see why he's still getting a ton of work. But those are writers. But yes, he also wrote and is directing The Girl on the Train. He directed The Drifter. This is the same guy who directed that movie, The Drifter, with frickin' Kim Delaney and Timothy Bottoms. That's like a ripoff in The Hitcher. Great. Wonderful. What else does this guy direct? Oh, he directed The Mask of Red Death. Okay. Oh, that one? The one with Patrick McNee and Adrian Paul. I remember that being shit. So pretty much everything that I've been looking at this guy is pretty much shit that he's directed. The Basement is what he directed after Paranoia. Well, this guy should just stay in his basement and not direct any more movies. But this is just me. I'm sorry. Just after watching this fucking tired excuse of a film and waste of Larry Drake, it just fucking drained me. So, really, okay. This guy also wrote this stupid screenplay. The stupid idea for having, I'm gonna have freaking Larry Drake, Calvin Hawks have a freaking laptop in prison. A good one. And then Jana Mercer, after she gets freaked out and terrified by Calvin Hawks basically typing mean messages on her on IM, she calls up the penitentiary and they said like, oh, she's like, he's gonna escape, he's gonna get out, he's thinking of escaping. No, well, really, in a way, you're right, ma'am, because he's scheduled for release tomorrow. What? How is this possible? He killed 3 people. Well, back in the 70s, back when he was convicted, rules were different, and, he only is getting 20 years. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's true, but I doubt it. I doubt the justice system is that incompetent, but I'm not surprised if it is after seeing some certain series of documentaries I'm going to talk about soon enough. But, I mean, what the fuck? Why are there still people on death row or still murderers who killed people in the 70s still in jail then, if that's the case? Can they just change the laws up a little bit? And then they say, well, if you had his parole hearing, then things might be different. It's so stupid. It's just a really stupid idea for him to escape. Just have him just get released in some stupid bullshit, cockamamie law. I don't know, it might be real, but it's still stupid. It would have been more exciting if he actually escaped from prison. So anyway, he gets let go. And you have this wonderful line of dialogue with the parole officer talking to Calvin Hawks. He's all like, and if you so much find anything as sharp as a kitchen knife, if you find a kitchen knife, if you even buy a butter knife, I'll send you to prison so fast that your cock will still be warm or some shit like that. You're like, what the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. That's just like Randy Quaid saying you were driving out there like a monkey fucking a football. I mean, that makes about as much sense as that. I'll send you to prison so fast that your cock will still be warm. I don't know what. The fuck? Anyway, Larry Drake is the best part of this film. It's a movie where I didn't give a shit about anybody else except Larry Drake. When he was on the screen, he was good. He didn't have much to do, which sucked. But he did deliver some good performances. It's a good performance. I mean, like he does. Larry Drake is an underrated actor, so. And he delivers some good lines. The screenplay at times, is stupid, but at the same time, some of the dialogue isn't too bad. But it's pretty much all I could freaking give to this guy, Larry Drake. But anyway, you see but it's also kind of pretentious, the dialogue too, especially from Jana Mercer. But there's some good lines of dialogue from Calvin Hawks from Larry Drake. Stuff like this. There's only 2 things that most humans are capable of experiencing. Pain and nothing. Here's another one from Calvin Hawks. Sometimes knowing what you can do is just as good as doing it. I like that scene because he gets picked up by a hitchhiker. He gets picked up not by a hitchhiker. He gets picked up by a passerby. And he basically says that while he's got a knife in his hand. So it's kind of creepy because he's like, sometimes, you know, thinking about knowing you can do it just as good as doing it. And there's another good line for him too. Another person's fear is the best drug there is. You could smell it across a room. You can drink it like vampire's blood. Walk away stronger. So, Larry Drake was good. So, I pretty much would only recommend this movie for diehard Larry Drake fans. If you want to see a good performance for Larry Drake in a shitty movie, I guess you can check this out. And get twisted like the frickin' movie says. Get your dick twisted up in a knot. Like mine was after watching this movie. So anyway, after she finds out he's gonna get released, she basically, some boyfriend of hers from high school shows up into the picture. And he's a terrible actor. He's got no charisma. He's wooden. Wooden as all hell. Robert Floyd, I think, plays her. I think that's who it is. Think so. I might be wrong. Or it might be Scott Valentine. No, I know Scott Valentine is in this. Does he play the bad guy or play one of the, what the fuck? I think it's Stephen Gevedon who plays it. It was also in Session 9, I guess, Stephen Gevedon. But anyway, her boyfriend, I don't remember his name, whatever. He shows up in the picture and they have a little moment together, and then you find out some, not really a twist, that he's a cop, and I'm like, whatever, who fucking cares. Larry Drake, it's a waste of Larry Drake, because he's there on the screen, and when he's there on the screen, the movie's barely watchable, but then when he's not there, it's really painful to sit through, because it just drags on and on and on and on. It's like an 87-minute long movie, and I swear to God, I felt like I was watching a 3-hour-long film at times. And, stupid so many moments of padding, like some scene where Jana Mercer's talking to Calvin Hawks' neighbor, and she's like, the angel of death lives next door. And you're like, what the fuck? And then, I guess, yeah, Larry Drake only kills one guy. He kills like some dude in the bathroom and slits his throat. Pretty bad effect. Pretty shitty acting by the guy who got his throat slit. He just, and the guy was like, God. So there isn't any gore. There's no gore. There's no titties. You know, there's some good lines by Larry Drake, but you know, that's about it. And then you get to the final confrontation after he kills one guy. But I guess he killed, the total body count for Larry Drake's Calvin Hawks is probably 4 people, because the family that he murdered back in the past, and then the one guy. But other than that, no. Not really much of a body count. And then basically, you get to the final showdown. Oh, God. This is bad. It's embarrassing. This showdown is so embarrassing for Larry Drake. I wanted to see this movie to see Larry Drake face off with Brigitte Bako, and that's the way that it's sort of set up as. But the way it plays out as is fucking aggravating. So basically, what happens is Brigitte Bako sets up all these traps around her house. She sets up like the string, the metal, wire, trip wires. Sets them around the kitchen. Throws a bunch of tacks on the floor. Larry Drake gets in the house and trips over the frickin' tripwire, lands on the tacks, and then promptly gets knocked out with a baseball bat. Wow. It's a very formidable adversary. Got his ass kicked in 2 seconds flat. Then, after that's not only embarrassing enough, it gets even more sad where the next scene is her basically taking a rope, tying it to the back of her pickup, basically tying the rope around Calvin Hawk's ankles and dragging him down the fucking dirt road behind her pickup truck. Wow. That's your killer, folks. That's your adversary. That's your genius psychopath. Then, next scene is Jana Mercer. She's buried Calvin Hawks up to his head in dirt. And she's now the one with the fear on her side. And she now is trying to be super bitch and pulling it out of her ass, and I'm not buying it at all, because there's nothing that leads up to this transformation of her character. It's just how I felt about Drag Me to Hell. So she's saying stuff like this, fear is an interesting thing. If you let it control you, you live your life in the dark. But if you learn to use it could be your best friend. She's like, see, once death passes over you, you can never be completely in this world again. And life becomes nothing more than a series of breaths and heartbeats. Suddenly finite. You're like, okay, why is she talking like this? Is she a philosophy major? The film never really developed her character like that. So she basically goes batshit crazy at the end. And it should be satisfying for the viewer, the revenge that she's getting on this killer. But you actually feel for Larry Drake more than you feel for Brigitte Bako, than Jana Mercer. Because Larry Drake is a better actor than anybody in this fucking movie. He's what has carried this movie so far. And he's literally getting dragged down the fucking road dragged down a dirt road and buried up to his fucking head. For all his troubles. It's just not... It sucks. So, then you get to see him sniffle like a little bitch when she puts a spider on his shoulder. Oh, great, wonderful. And then the cop boyfriend comes along. He's like, don't do it, don't kill him, whatever. Give me the shovel. She's like, no. And I know why she didn't give him the shovel. Because if she gave him the shovel would outact his ass. Then, after that, the cop guy basically takes Larry Drake, puts him in the patrol car, he's arrested. Drake starts playing mind games with the cop guy, which is good. Then you find out some twist ending, which a lot of people said was shocking. I didn't give a shit because the fucking minutes leading up to the twist ending were fucking excruciating. So, whatever the twist ending wasn't shocking to me anymore because I was already fucking bored to tears. The only thing that kept me awake, like I said, was a goddamn beeping noise coming from my goddamn TV. So, what happens is, I guess there's like a accomplice of Larry Drake's that shows up in the apartment and tries to attack Jana Mercer. And, of course, cop boyfriend comes in to save the day and shoots the guy's ass out the window. End of movie. Yeah. End of fucking movie. End of fucking movie! I want to end it right there. Just ended that movie. Ended its fucking life. The movie fucking sucked. It was disappointing. I wanted it to be good. I wanted to see it. I paid money for it. I mean, the only way I recommend it, if you could find it online for free, I don't have to pay anything for it, because, man, it's such a waste of fucking time and a waste of Larry Drake. Larry Drake does a great job, but he doesn't have jack shit to do. He gets dispatched and arrested and taken care of way too fucking easily. And, Brigitte Bako is okay, but, I don't buy her super bitch persona at the end. And, like I said, it's just a slow, dull movie. It just has no impact whatsoever. And the filming is, the score is shitty. It looks like it's shot on Shitio at times. But really, I don't really know what else to say about Paranoia, except I think I'm gonna be paranoid now. So I'm afraid every time I turn around, I'm gonna see this shitty movie staring back at me. No, but anyway, I really don't know what to say about Paranoia, except if I was gonna rate it out of 5 stars, I give it like 1, and that's for Larry Drake. That's it. Larry Drake alone deserves 1 star. But other than that, it's a piece of shit. It's forgettable. It's boring. It's fucking useless. So, avoid it. Unless you're a diehard Larry Drake fan. Because basically what I've done in this review, I've just said everything that you need to know about this movie. So, you've already seen it if you've seen my review. But anyway, I don't know what to say, folks, except thanks for watching my review of the disappointing as hell Paranoia. And I will see you guys later. See ya.